Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Astronaut Gaming. Today we have a really fun expanded deck for you. So this is one that has come out of the new set Evolving Skies using an under-the-radar attacker, and that is Volcarona V. And so today's deck, we are just looking to blow things up as soon as turn one. Let me do a quick explanation of how it works. I will also drop a link in the description with the link to the deck list from the place I got it from a recent tournament. And then we'll play some games. So first off, our main and really only attacker, Volcarona V, 210 HP, fire type, and it has the attack Surging Flames. It does 20 damage plus 20 more for each basic energy card in your discard pile, and then you shuffle all those energy cards back into your deck. So as you can see, we play 18 fire energy. In theory, 17 in the discard. That does 340 plus the base 20, 360. That is not taking into account Volcanion EX's ability, which is Steam Up, where if you discard a fire energy from your hand, your fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage that turn. So as you can see, we can ramp up pretty quickly. And the goal of this deck really is just to burn through as many cards as possible on that first turn or two. And to do that, we have a bunch of different supporting cards. We have 4 Battle Compressor, search your deck for up to 3 cards and discard them. Really helpful to get rid of fire energy. You pretty much only ever discard fire energy unless you're just trying to thin the deck later in the game. And later in the game for this deck is turn 3 or 4, so we are moving quickly. But we also do have Fiery Flint. Discard 2 cards and search for up to 4 fire energy cards, put them into your hand. Some other discarding, we have Ultra Ball to discard 2 and search for a Pokemon. Quick Ball, discard 1, search for a basic Pokemon. And then the other outstanding draw support that we have is Zebstrika. So it evolves from Blitzel, 70 HP, 1 retreat cost, which is nice. Ideally, you have 3 copies of this Blitzel. I only own 2, so I added 1 copy of this one because it also has 70 HP, 1 retreat. But we're never attacking with Blitzel, so either one's fine. But Zebstrika, 110 HP, and we have the ability Sprint. Once during your turn, you can discard your hand and draw 4 cards. And so if you get multiple Zebstrika out, you can sprint multiple times per turn, get a bunch of energy in your hand through things like Fiery Flint or Giant Hearth, which lets you search for fire energy cards, discard them with Sprint, then do it again with your next Zebstrika. So this is a pretty strong deck overall. Just rounding it out, for draw, we have Dedenne with its Dede Change ability, discard your hand, draw 6. We have Computer Search, arguably the best card, best trainer in the expanded format. Discard 2, search your deck for any card. So this is good early, it's good late, whatever card you need on that turn in that moment, it gets you. And then for our supporters, we have 2 Guzma. Switch one of the opponent's benched with their active, and then you can switch as well. Professor Juniper, discard your hand and draw 7. And then we are also playing 1 Pal Pad to shuffle 2 supporters from your discard pile into your deck. And Heat Factory lets you discard a fire energy, no more fire energy in the discard, and then we can also draw 3 cards. The final thing is 2 Floatstone. So that is the deck, and now we are going to go into some battles. Alright, so we want to go second with this deck in almost every situation, since we can attack for a lot of damage on the first turn if we do get Volcarona into that active spot and get some Pokemon in the discard. So this is not an excellent opening hand, and we're up against a fairy deck. Okay. Not an excellent opening hand, but it's something we can work with. Let's just see what else we're able to draw. No reason not to bench those, since I will want them in play. Okay, so we have Slugma, which evolves into Magcargo. Oh wow, we are playing against Granbull. That I have not seen that for a little while. I think the last time I played against Granbull was at a regionals. when we were back in person before COVID. So Grand Bull, if you have a 0-card hand, I believe it does 190 damage. So as far as I know, they won't be able to knock us out, which is a pretty big deal. But let's see what we draw. Ultra Ball. So we're saved. We are going to start with the Battle Compressor. Get rid of 3 energy. And how much do we need to knock this out? 70 HP, so we need 3 energy in the discard. That's it. Okay, cool. We'll get rid of those 3. We can get rid of another Volcarona. Maybe a 4th energy. What else do we not really need? I mean, at this point, I do want to keep pretty much all of this in deck. So we are now going to Ultra Ball, get our Dedenne, and then we can draw 6 cards. One thing to note is that our second Guzma is prized, so I will need to Palpad back the one that we have there. Okay, so I think we wait on this. We can sprint next turn, so I'm happy with this. We'll Surging Flames do 100 damage. Shuffle those back into the deck. And we'll take our prize, Fiery Flint. That's pretty good. Basically guarantees the knockout next turn. But this Magcargo is going to be a problem, since Magcargo lets them search for any card and put it on top of their deck. Then with Oranguru, Instruct, they can usually draw that card into their hand. So like a computer search every turn, the smooth over ability. So it looks like they... What was that? Diantha? Put 2 cards from the discard pile into the hand. Okay. So we'll see what they're going to do here. They're going to smooth over, put something on top, then draw into it with Oranguru. I assume it's going to be another Snubble, because if they don't, I will just knock them out. Yeah. Okay, so I think we start with the Flint. And I mean, at most we would need to do 100 damage, so that's 4 energy in the discard. But we also don't want to draw into a ton of them at the moment, so I think I'll get 3. We'll attach 1 to the Volcarona. We'll evolve. I'm gonna Ultra Ball, get rid of 2 energy. And I think we just put another Blitzel in play. That seems right. And then we can use our last bench spot for Volcarona. And we'll use that Palpad to get Guzma back in deck. And then finally, sprint, discard our hand, draw 4. Okay, so 5, that is a knockout. Do we even bump the stadium? I think we wait on that. So let's just Surging Flames, take the knockout. Bumping the stadium doesn't really make a difference for us, and it just allows them to play another Swell down, get another card out of their deck, so I'd rather that Swell clogs up their deck. We aren't ever going to be able to remove it because we don't play Tool Scrapper or Field Blower. But they evolve into Grand Bolt. Let's check out that attack now. It does 160 if they have no cards in their hand, and you know what? I think they're going to have a pretty hard time keeping up with the damage output once I do get that second sprint online. Okay, we have 1 Volcarona in the discard, so we'll have 3 Volcarona to attack. That's all we need. And I'm going to evolve into Zebstrika on my turn, and potentially, actually, we could bench the other Blitzel. We won't need... Yeah, We won't need a Volcanian EX. At least we shouldn't. That being said, if I just don't hit the damage at some point, that Volcanian could be helpful. So just in case, I think what I'll do... Oh, they're going to boss. Okay. Are they going to knock out the... Oh, interesting. Knock out the Substrika. Okay, so in that case, I'm definitely playing down the Blitzhole and the Substrika. And let's see. Let's computer search. What do we want? We are going to sprint the hand away. Honestly, we might just want more energy in the discard. So, compressor. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so we'll compress 3 energy away. Then we'll sprint. So we're at 4. 4, 5, that's not a knockout. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we will Surging Flames to 100. On their turn, they can only do 160 to us, so they won't get the knockout. And then we will trade back into them. So we're in an okay spot. In retrospect, maybe I should have just gotten a Juniper off of the computer search just to guarantee that we have extra draw. So yeah, I think that was probably the move. But the thing that I am concerned about is if they keep bringing up my Substrikas and knocking them out. Okay, they have the Ultra Ball. So it looks like they probably will not be getting an attack off on one of my benched Pokemon, so just hitting 160 into the active, and I am totally okay with that. Let's just see what we are able to grab on our turn. Okay. Let's Float Stone. Get rid of those 2. It's not like we want these in deck anyway. Yeah, so we'll grab 4. And then here's the interesting thing. I think I attach here. Yeah, I'm fine attaching there. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to retreat and attack with this Volcarona. And that leaves me in a position where, in theory, I could use the second attack if I do run out of space. So let's drop this on Volcarona, and then we'll sprint a second time. So we have 6. So that'll be a knockout, more than enough. And by going up to 7 cards, I mean, they probably still get it, the attack off, but you never know. It's always possible they miss it. But we're down to 3 prizes. They still have to attack 3 times, at least, in order to win the game. They would need to knock out the Volcarona, the Dedenne, and one of my Substrikas. So if they ever hit into this Volcarona, then that gives me an extra turn. Or if they ever miss boss or Guzma, that gives me an extra turn as well. So on my turn, we have the rescue stretcher if needed. If they Guzma something up, I can stretcher a couple cards back in. We have a fire energy to discard. We have a quick ball to go get another Pokemon. So we are in a pretty good spot. And I held the Juniper because I didn't need it this turn, and I just didn't know what exactly they were going to do. And so I'd rather have the resources. For example, if they hit me with an N or something along those lines. Interesting. Okay, so they're field blowering their own stadium plus my floatstone on this Volcarona, which at this point is probably never going to retreat. So I'm guessing they are planning to either knock it out. Okay, or not. Not sure why they took that one off then. So they're going to Marnie. That's okay. We have sprints, and we drew Juniper anyway. Perfect. But it is good to know that we have a couple draw supporters plus a rescue stretcher on the bottom of the deck. So we will hopefully be able to shuffle things up with cards on our next turn. Okay, Ultra Ball to get the Grand Bull. So they will get the attack off this turn, but they already used Marnie, and I don't think they're going to play any cards that will be able to bring up this Volcarona. I know I'm going to say Toy Catcher is a new one that was released. Pokemon Catcher, of course, but that's a flip. Either way, I don't see them playing those cards, so... Okay, the Wondrous Labyrinth. Oh, and the Counter Catcher. They're down on prizes. I forgot about that. Okay. At this point, our deck is going to be small enough that I'm not concerned about ever having to use the second attack, Fire Blast. So we are just going to discard 6. Okay, yeah. We'll Juniper. We want to attach here. I don't know if I want to discard those because I do have the Guzma in hand. Guzma might be helpful to take out Oranguru next turn, since that is giving them a lot of draw. We could also take out the Magcargo. Either way, I do feel good. So we have 6 in there, 7, 140. So that'll do it. Okay. So at this point, they need Boss or Guzma this turn and next turn. And they play Rosa, so they don't have it. Which means that, in theory, we should be able to get this win. Because with an energy attachment, we do have 2 attacks that'll take a knockout. Okay. So, I mean, this is showing off the deck. I did mess up that one time not grabbing the Juniper, but even so, we were able to recover with Substrika and Sprint. But Volcarona just absolutely so powerful. As you can see with Fiery Flint, Battle Compressor, you end up being able to discard so many cards over the course of a game, or over the course of your first turn even. So that's game 1. Let's move on. Okay, so we are starting Volcanion, but we do have a pretty good opening hand. So as long as we get a Floatstone, we'll be okay. We're starting Slugma. So interesting, another Magcargo deck. But what type of Magcargo are they playing? Oh, it's Magcargo Colossal. Okay, this will be pretty fun. So Colossal does a lot of damage. So that is something we'll have to worry about. All right, so let's Ultra Ball, get rid of those. Go get a Blitzel. Anything really big that we're prizing? We only have 1 Floatstone, 2 Guzma. Okay. Well, we have to try and hit the 1 Floatstone. I think it is better to just set up this turn though, given that the Colossal is on the bench. I'm gonna grab both Blitzel, and then we'll just Juniper. And then next turn we can hope to take a knockout on the Colossal or just do a lot of damage. Okay, so we'll attach here. You know, we could get a knockout on the Slugma. I think that is probably worth it. So let's... what do we do here? I think we're gonna Flint away. We need 3 in the discard. Okay, we'll Flint away the Compressor. Stretcher, yeah. The Stretcher and Fire Energy. Go get 4. Discard 2 fire off the Computer Search. Grab a Floatstone. Now we have 5 in the discard, so that is a knockout. And then next turn, we have a Compressor to put 3 more in the discard, plus we can Quick Ball for a Dedenne, and hopefully draw into some more Substrikas so that we can keep our sprints going throughout the game. All right, there goes our 1 Floatstone. So I think at this point probably won't be too much of a problem since Colossal is probably taking 1-hit knockouts on most of our Pokemon. But if they do get a 1-hit knockout on Volcarona this turn, that could be an issue. I may have to Guzma. Bring something else up. Okay, so they have the Oranguru with Primate Wisdom, as well as a Crobat on their bench. They are putting another Colossal down. And an energy there, and then hit us with the Research. Okay, so it is definitely good I knocked out the Slugma. Buff padding plus 50 HP, so they're at 270 at the moment. Plus the strong energy helps them do 20 more damage. Okay, Quick Ball. Presumably they don't have the VMAX just yet, because I think they would have dropped it, but they also might be holding it just to throw us off. So either way, our game plan is still the same on our turn. We would like to get, I think, 2 Volcarona V on the bench. Oh wow, okay, they don't have it. Perfect. So we will start with the Compressor. Put 3 in the discard. Let's do that. Get our Dedenne. And then, yeah, I like this better. So we will almost definitely draw into more fire energy, so I'm just gonna get rid of that fire now. That allows us to be a bit more greedy. Okay, so that's 8. That would be 180. We still have a ways to go. So we will Juniper those 3 away. That's not ideal. We already get rid of our Stretcher. Yeah, we totally did. Okay. We have 5, 8, 180. We could just hit for 180. That being said, I think This could actually make a really big difference if we do get it. So, you know what? We're just gonna go for it. We're gonna be greedy. I'm gonna put 2 junipers back in the deck. And let's see if there's anything else we want to grab. Yeah, at this point, that's fine. Just get it out of the deck. So we will almost definitely get a knockout this turn, assuming that we draw into any of our pieces. So that is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, which is 260, 290. So we are getting a knockout this turn. Okay, perfect. Two excellent prizes. Okay, so they will Karina, Colossal VMAX. So they do 130. 130, 140, 150. Ah, okay. Let's see. Oh, but they didn't knock us out. Okay, that's actually perfect. Okay. And we will drop another energy to go grab 2 more. Juniper. So we have 7. Can we knock this out? Let's see. We have 5 in there. 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 300, 320. Yeah, I think actually we totally can knock this out. Okay. And we will steam up. Then sprint. And Searching Flames. Wow, 370 on the Colossal VMAX. So there you go. Power of Volcarona. We went from no energy in the discard to doing 370 in 1 turn with our sprints and our junipers and battle compressors and fiery flints. It all comes together. So here's game 2. Overall, this has been a very, very strong deck so far. Here it is one last time. I'm not sure of any changes I would make at the moment. I think it is pretty strong as is. The things that I am constantly looking for, though, a way to retreat a Blitzel or a Volcanion, so maybe a 3rd Floatstone, as well as more draw support. So in addition to the 4 Juniper, maybe adding a 2nd Dedenne or another draw supporter. That is all I can think of, though, because this is a really strong list as is. And it would definitely be hard to cut since the list is pretty tight. But thank you all for joining. This has been a fun day, fun deck, and I definitely encourage you to try it out. Volcarona V, a big star in the expanded format. So thank you again, and I will catch you next time.